Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your hosts, Mike
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. The reputation that Vegas has finally reared its ugly head again this year.
173,000 degree weather.
The heat is back, man. If you remember, was it yesterday or the day before that we went outside and I held my arms out and soaked in the nice cool breeze?
It was 2 days.
That's what I thought. That was so beautiful. Normally, we've been going outside like since about beginning of May, right? So about 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
We'd go outside and it would be sweaty warm.
Like already. P.S. This is the time we're going outside.
5 morning. Yeah. In the morning. Remember that.
Exactly hot o'clock.
And you'd go out there, and by the time you'd walk the loop around the park, which is a quarter of a mile, by the way, you'd walk that third of a mile, and you're sweating like a pig already. And so then this other day, I go outside, and it's 75 degrees, and there's a breeze, and it's nice and cool. And I was like, my God, I love this. And that day turned out to be a really mellow weather day.
Yeah, it was 68 degrees in the morning when we went outside.
But I'm hoping that this doesn't stay this hot tomorrow, because tomorrow we're supposed to go see, they call it the Savannah Bananas, but actually the bananas won't be there. It'll be the party animals and the firefighters are going to be at Las Vegas Ballpark. And we are going with 2 friends of ours. And we will be watching that game. And we're going to actually record a video at that game. Not one video, but we're going to do a bunch of short videos. And those are going to go out on the What Happens in Vegas YouTube channel. So you just go to youtube.com/@WHIV. Boom. Videos. Check it out. Subscribe.
In the grand scheme of the upcoming forecast, tomorrow is supposed to be cool because the high is supposed to be 100.
That's cooler than it was the last time I went to the ballpark.
And the peak heat is supposed to be at 5 p.m.
And I agree with you. We're going to have to find at least one of the Mr. Bottles.
Then we have to share.
So what?
Then we have to keep getting up and refilling it. We need to find at least one. It's only supposed to be 102 degrees by the time the game starts, which is not
that's
horrible.
That's nothing. It really is when you compare to what we've been dealing with.
Yeah, it's been heat wave after heat wave and heat warnings and smoke.
But then the next day, we are recording a video.
Yes.
We are going
to the Nighthawks.
What's the Nighthawks?
Arena football.
Football.
Air-conditioned football. Air-conditioned football.
It's the same thing we went with Mitchell and Alyssa when they were here.
You can figure out what the yes goes with.
The playoff game when they came here for the Knights playoff game, which I will never forgive them for coming because we lost.
Sounds like
they were here. I'm just kidding.
Mitchell's a big fat jinx.
They do bring the damn bad luck of the Devils and the Ducks with them,
I suppose.
But it's going to be fun. And again, that's going to go out on the What Happens in Vegas channel, YouTube.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Comes out mid-July, I believe. But check it out. New videos come out weekly. I've been told not to say what days. And they say don't make promises like that. Well, and you know what? It's worked for me a couple of times because there's been a couple of times where I couldn't get to it until Monday morning because our weekend was so busy. So it went out on Monday morning. Oh, I didn't feel bad. There was a video out that week. And then I still released the video on Friday, the new video.
This dude over here, he's nuts.
Tomorrow I'm taking on the Golden Beast. July update.
Tell everybody how you feel about our content.
Dude, in order to make sure we make money off of these videos, let me explain something. What I've been doing is we do these update videos about what's happening in Vegas. Why do we think we call our show What's Happening in Vegas? Because we talk about what happens in Vegas. And so this one over here, Torya, she does research and she doesn't pick stupid bullshit things like the Toothpick Festival or something stupid like that.
If they had a Toothpick Festival, I would 100% pick it. But what I don't pick is residencies and the shows that get over promoted and all that bullshit.
She only picks major things. For instance, I noticed Blink 182 was on.
So much snapping.
I reviewed the script and Blink 182 is coming up. And that's the kind of stuff that she puts on there. And then I am tasked with creating a video using the voiceover. So if the Blink 182 section of the video is 1 minute and 38 seconds, I got to come up with 1 minute and 38 seconds of Blink 182 concert related in Las Vegas content to fill that time. So I've tried stupid things like I took 30 seconds from one of Gabriel Iglesias online on someone else's channel, by the way, videos, and I just took 30 seconds out of it. And I didn't put his voice in. I muted him. It was just him on the screen.
30
He
whole
wasn't saying
seconds.
anything. And it was an entire 30 seconds.
I have to do like
I have to share it with stupid Gabriel Iglesias, but he's not even that nice. His company makes it so that you don't get any money. They get it all. Yeah, that's nice of them, isn't it?
why don't we just cut that section out of the video?
I'm going forward.
Because sorry, but F Gabriel Iglesias and all his money.
I mean, it's annoying.
The funniest comedian in the universe.
But because of that, I have to find pictures of Gabriel Iglesias. Then I have to animate the pictures. And it takes 3 hours to edit a normal video, sometimes 4 or 5, but 3 is pretty normal. It takes at least minimum 6 hours to edit one of these. It just takes 4, and probably 5.5 of those hours is looking for the stuff to fill in over the voice.
Does anyone have a tiny violin for this man who doesn't actually have to go anywhere to record this video?
I'm going to try something today. I'm going to try the new prompt to video AI tool and see if it works. Because at least it might create some B-roll I can use.
Especially for things like the Boulder City. I can't imagine you're going to be able to find photos of the Boulder City.
I'm like worried about it. I've also realized what was out at Boulder City. And I was like, by the way, it's Hoover Dam for those of you who don't know. But then it hit me and I was like, that's pretty damn funny. But then I realized it isn't even a typo. You meant to type that. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do going forward is if it's because once or twice there's been like that stupid gem show, right? But you have a lot to say about the gem show because you have to tell them like the dates that they're there and the times that they're open and how much the tickets cost. We have to put all this information in there. The gem show had next to nothing. I had to go steal photos off their website from years ago to fill it in. It was lame. I hated doing that. Well, if I run into that again next time, I may just put, the gem show's on April 15th. I'll just re-record the voiceover. The gem show's on April 15th at the convention center from 10 to 6.
The other parts of the audio out and just leave that part in.
Because it's a lot easier to re-record it than take the thing that's in the middle and cut the beginning and the end off of it. And then you have basically 4 parts. The opening, the part you want to cut out, the next part. You have to cut these parts out and then piece these 2 back together. It's a lot easier to just record it. It takes 10 seconds to re-record it and drop it back in there. Trust me. I've done it before. But the point is, I'm just going to shorten that shit because they all have websites. Or they have at least like an event website that has like a banner. But that freaking video drives me nuts. I hate building that video.
Like I said, but that's why I'm glad the world's smallest violin because we don't have to go anywhere and record anything. So if it takes you a little bit longer,
places, though.
Sitting in the house and finding some photos, then deal with it, bro.
But I will say this: it's nice that you got it done early because I was able to review it and I started thinking about, okay, this one might be difficult. And I already started searching for stuff that I could use that represents whatever's there, like that gem expo. I should have just found pictures of other gems. Boom. Who cares?
I'm sure there's lots of stock footage gems.
Could have also built stuff in Canva, which is what I've starting to learn is a technique a lot of people do. It's fun telling the story and deciding what's important, what jokes to put in there. It's a lot of fun.
Good.
But I like getting your input. Because you give good input. That was great. That really added to the video.
Good.
They call it a retention hack.
You're a retention hack.
It was great. I want to ask you a question.
Oh my God.
Ready?
Maybe.
Do you ever wish that the dogs could talk and carry on a conversation?
25% of the time.
What are the times when you don't think about it? What's happening then? It's the being annoying part that gets to me. I don't care if they're sleeping. They can talk to me when they're asleep. But when Bree is super persistent with a toy, I'm like, thank God she can't talk because all I'd hear is, Daddy, throw this for me. I've lived through it 4 times. It's what little children do. And puppy dogs, they're like at that level of intelligence, like little children.
Oh, did he call you dumb, Zaris?
I didn't say dumb. Children are children.
Now you know what I think of children.
Wow. You're mean.
Most children. There are some exceptions.
She would drive me crazy because she's so persistent. And then so would Doug. Like Doug would be like, leave me alone. Love me. That's Doug.
The Bree is better trained than most children.
It's true. What's very interesting about Bree when you relate it to children is she has a trait that some children have. If they hurt you, like step on you, scratch you, whatever, and you say, ow, immediately, oh, I'm sorry. Little kids do that a lot. She instantly, I'm sorry. Those are called cues, lady. So they cue me when to pause.
They're annoying. Stop.
With my new tool, I can take those out in 0.4421
What you can't do is take them out of my ears in the present.
All of it.
Bree is better trained than most people's children.
Is that so, Bree? Are you better trained than most people's children? She said, damn straight.
Every time we go to a restaurant and somebody's offspring are running around and screaming and acting like tiny savages, I think about how Bree is better trained than them.
Think about it. We've brought her to both Lazy Dog and multiple times to Edwards.
And she only leaps on the people who interact with her.
Yes.
Sometimes she whines at them.
She's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know how Douglas is because we've never taken him.
I think he would just sit there with a bump.
Yeah, I do too. He'd hide from everybody. Unless he found somebody that he liked. Then he'd go and say hello. But our little furry family is very cute. All of them. I like the way they interact with one another. But sometimes I wish they could talk.
You want to know when I don't wish they could talk? When Bree stepped on Douglas's butt earlier.
Oh, the cuss words that would have come out of that old man's mouth.
I think he cusses more than I do.
Would have been so butthurt.
Yes. She was already pretty butthurt. Psycho jumps up on the bed, knowing full well that Douglas was in his nest, and stepped right on his butt. Douglas does not appreciate his butt being even gently brushed.
You know what, though? I have to defend her on this because you always give her a hard time for that, but it's because she's clumsy. Because the reality is, if you remember from when she was small, if you were sitting with your legs out on the couch and she wanted to jump up, she made damn skippy that she could jump over your leg and not scratch you.
She knows he's there, then she shouldn't jump right there.
The part she doesn't know.
And always there's either a cat or a Douglas in the nest. She jumps on them all the time and never learns her lesson.
Should cats be in the nest?
Because the cats spend the day in the nest while Douglas isn't there. He really likes it.
All right, guys.
It's basically a grumpy old asshole nest at this point.
We've beat the dead horse.
Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.